everybody, welcome back to another episode of High in Fibre. I'm your host. My name is Kelsey. I am the one half of Cattails Yarn Company, hand-dyed yarn here in Canada, based in the lovely Okanagan Valley in British Columbia, Canada. In case you didn't get that part, Canada. I'm in Canada. So it's a beautiful fall morning here, and you might notice that the things behind me are a little different. So I'm in my studio. So for those of you who don't know, prior to my addiction of yarn as a business, music was always my passion, and I went to university for music, majored in composition and violin performance, and so this is my music studio where I teach piano and violin and a little bit of voice. But so I spend many hours in here every week, and so this is just one of my pianos hiding behind here, and there's another one over there on that side. But the lighting was better this way because I have a big window over here. Maybe I'll superimpose a couple pictures from in here. And you can see we're getting ready for Halloween, which is next week. So thank you for joining me. Today I am wearing my Chalet Days pullover. This is by Samantha Guerin. I think it came out, I want to say 2 years ago now, and I knit it finally last year. My yarn of choice for this one was some I picked up at Stephen West's shop in Amsterdam. It's more widely available in Canada now than when I bought it, but I have notes. It's the Gilliatt from Rerum Natura. I'm hoping I'm saying that right, and I'm gonna butcher anything that's not in English, I'm sorry. And so I use the natural color here. It's the Poivre Sel, it's down below. And then the rose color for the color work. So, and I love it. It's so soft. It folds beautifully when I washed it. I wore it a ton last year when I finished it, and then I've been wearing it a lot so far this fall since colder weather has decided to visit. So, because I don't know about you, but in our part of Canada, it's getting cold now. So I can actually wear my woolies and not be overheated by any means. So we're gonna dive right in. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna talk a little bit before we get into like what I've been working on in terms of actual physical knitted objects. Back in the spring, where I mentioned last time, I started falling down the rabbit hole of spinning. And thanks to Brittany of Crux Fibers for facilitating that, and this awesome bag. Anyone need some spicy firemen in their life? You can't call 911 and get them to your door. Just get a bag from Brittany at Crux Fiber, because this is hilarious. I do feel like, I want you guys to vote, is the dog just hanging out or is he smelling his crotch? I want to vote. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, so in here I have, so I tried blending some of my own yarn or fiber with some merino that I had, and then I also have a couple colors of mohair. So I spun this. So I've got this one, which is a nice green one, and then I have this nice kind of orange rusticy one. And I have a blue one, which is not in here right now. I don't know what I did with it. I'm gonna have to find it because, so I'm gonna make, the plan is, Chris, if you're watching this, you need to go away now. I often make Chris, the hubby, handmade socks for Christmas, and so I this year wanted to up my game. I originally was going to try and do it for his birthday, and I wasn't on it enough. Sorry, I'm just undoing my knitting here. So I custom spun stuff with fiber that I had from family, and then some other fiber that I just had either lying around or what have you, and then I had bought these little bits of mohair to use. Well, originally they were like slated to be for felting, is kind of what they were indicated to be good for, because they were a little bit matted, but you know, because I picked up a vintage drum carder, what did I do? I threw them on my drum carder so I could spin them. So that's what I did. So I want to do some socks. So this has a bit of blue in it. So this is mostly Dorset, with the blue is some Merino that I had in my stash to use for needle felting of some sort. And then the Dorset comes from some family of ours. So I want to do like a cool sock pattern out of this, and I think I'm just going to make it up as I go, but I'm thinking I'll do some sort of slip stitch thing so you can really see the mohair, and then it'll make them warmer because they'll be thicker. I've become really obsessed with spinning and wanted to, I should have brought my leg warmers to show you because those are done and I've been wearing those like crazy. But I have really been enjoying the process of spinning and spinning with specific projects in mind, which is a whole other thing too, because now when I'm buying fiber, I'm like, oh, but do I have enough to spin, allow for a little bit of waste as I learn how to spin whatever fiber it is, and then put it all back together again and then knit with it. So it's a slippery slope, I'm discovering, and I kind of love it. So, but yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with these. These are like, I mean, I've only been really spinning since May, and these were like pretty early on. I was working on this during the Tour de Fleece, which was in June. So, was it June? Was it in June or was it in July? I think it was, I don't remember when the Tour de France was. So, it was during the Tour de France. But anyway, so this was pretty early on though in my spinning career. So it's not super duper even, and I may have like overspun it in a couple spots, but I think that'll be okay because they're gonna be for socks. And you know, they're hand spun and hand knit socks. That's a pretty cool Christmas gift if you ask me. If someone did that for me, I would be like ecstatic. So hubs, you better love it. Just saying. And yeah, that also, I just love that I can like put it in my Saucy Fireman bag. So yeah, so that's something I've been spinning and now planning for it, and I have fiber in my mouth now. But so I'm looking forward to making something with those for the hubby for Christmas, and that just gives you another glimpse as to what I've been doing with some of my spinning. You don't care about needle holders, that's fine. So, works in progress. I didn't bring any FOs today because the only real one that I have finished since I came on here last time, don't mind me, because I rescued my yarn, was I finished those leg warmers that I showed you last time. I'll throw a photo in here. I've been wearing them most evenings to keep my ankles warm because I don't know about you, I get cold ankles. It's a thing. Since the hubby is so knit worthy, I tried to finish this for Knit City and just ran out of time. And then do you think I kept knitting it after Knit City? No, I did not. It really just needs sleeves. And this is called the High Lonesome. It's by Caitlin Hunter, or Boyland Knitworks, as she's also known. So I might have to, I have typically found myself with Caitlin Hunter patterns for myself that the necklines are a little bit tight. When I tried it on the hubby before I got like the body part onto it, it was a little bit, but I'm actually, he hasn't tried it on since there was like this much color work on it, or somewhat since I got all the body work done on it. So I think it might be okay because I did it on a looser needle, kind of knowing that. But yeah, so this is the High Lonesome, and I'm knitting this in my own yarn. So this is the K-Zip Knits Myra Canyon Aran. So it's a BFL and Massam blend. So both British breeds of sheep, and the Massam has this kind of beautiful brown undertone to it, and it just, I don't know, if you're familiar with Bahramu's Winterburn or their old Dovestone at all, it's closer to the Winterburn than to the Dovestone because it doesn't have any Wensleydale in it, but it's in that same kind of, I don't know, gives me the same when I use it and when I pick it up and look at it, and also when I dye it. So, and I'll hold this up. I don't know if you can really tell, but the gold color, yeah, it doesn't come across as well on camera right now, but it has like that lovely little bit of a heathering to it, which you can see in person, not as much on here. But I'm thinking this is going to be an awesome sweater for the hubby for the winter. And for those of you who know me, you know that I am a sucker for color work. So I think it'll be a really flattering yoke on him, I think. I think it'll be good. And for those of you with your eagle eyes who are noticing the little bit of speckling here as the light goes a little darker. It's because I had two very different skeins of yarn color-wise, and so I did kind of like a faux fade type thing that's like not overly noticeable, and I think once I wash it, it won't be as noticeable because it'll flatten it out a little bit more. But I did kind of like, I'll see if I can flip it inside out without pulling it off the needles. So I did, you can kind of see I did like a few rows where I staggered where I would use the new ball in this one and the old one, so then that way it would be less obvious. And it's a combination of just trying to use up yarn that was like dead stock or just end of a dye lot run, and there's just that one kicking around with the new one. So, but yeah, in case you can't tell, I love color work. The more color work, the better. My goal one of these days is to knit like an entire dress or an entire, well, dress would be ambitious. Oh, like an entire, like all over color work dress. Oh, that might have to be like a couple year goal. That or at least a sweater. So yeah, so that's that. And then the other project I thought I would show you today is from, or not from, but it's, sorry, I'm just putting things back into their little bowls so that they don't disappear underneath the piano, never to be seen again. So I have a pair of socks that I recently dug out again. So I knit the last one last year. I never finished it, or finished it rather, but then I didn't finish the other sock. So I've pulled out my other sock, and they're kind of Christmassy themed. So this is the first one that I finished. The colorway I believe is called Reindeer Games, and it's from Rosehill Yarns. So I don't know if she'll be releasing this colorway again at Christmas or not, but it's got these lovely like brown bits with like subtle, I don't know if you can even see, but there's like occasional like little speckles and stuff that kind of come through. Like there's a blue one down here and whatnot. So, and then it came with, I can't remember if it came with the red mini or the green mini. It came with one of the green, I think it came with the red mini. And then I had the green one left over or something, so I just added the green in, but they're all Rosehill yarns. And then here's the second sock on the go. Just started increasing for my heel. So yeah, as I said, I wasn't using like a specific pattern for these. It was more, I just kind of know what numbers tend to work for me, or I just try it on as I go because I tend to do mine top up. And then I have a heel pattern that I have sort of hybrided that I've made up that works for me. If you've purchased any of my sock patterns before from Ravelry, they have the sock heel that I like to do. But yeah, so it's not an afterthought heel, although you could do that if you wanted to keep your color block really, really good. But yeah, so I'm very excited about these. I'll have some, the reason I love Rosehill Yarns for socks so much is she does a DK sock, and not a lot of people do a DK sock, and she does, and they wear really well. And her colors are just cool. I love that she plays with colors. She likes to say, I put colors together that aren't supposed to go together, but she, like, her colors are just like, oh, I just love her multicolor ones are stunning. This is probably like the 4th pair of DK socks out of her yarn I've made. And I have at least, I want to say 4 or 5 other skeins in reserve waiting. So, yeah. DK socks, yay! So I'm excited for those. And that's kind of what I've been, or have pulled out this week. I haven't done a lot of knitting this week. It's been a busy week, but yeah, been doing a bit of knitting. I've also been working on my shawl that I showed you last time, but I figure you don't need to see it again just yet because it's only got like a few more leaves on it. We'll wait till it's like more dramatic. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to and what I need to start working on again more wholeheartedly so I can, you know, I have all these lovely projects that are in like 80% of completion and just need that extra little bit. Do you guys have projects like that? I know like some people I know are what we call like monogamous knitters, and they have to only work on one project at a time. I always have to have like a few different things because I'm like, well, socks go everywhere with me. And then I need something that's like slightly more complicated, and then I need like a potato chippy knit, and I pretty well always have at least 1 or 2 sweaters on the go of some description. Doesn't mean I finish any of them very fast, but I have them all on needles in different places. So yeah, so that's kind of where things are at on my end of things and things that I need to get working on and kick my butt about. What about you all? What are you all working on? I know a few people threw in the comments last week what they've been working on or finished recently. I love knowing what you've been making and what yarns are inspiring you these days. I know I just always love hearing what everybody's been up to, what you're making, what you've acquired that you're excited about. So please let me know what you're up to and what's tooting your horn these days, so to speak. Is that just a Canadianism? Is that just a Kelseyism? I'm not sure. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with me in my lovely little studio for today for a little bit. And I will, if you have things that you want me to talk about, or if I didn't give you information that you want, or you want different information next time, please let me know. Throw it in the comments, send me a message, any of that kind of stuff. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead, assuming I get this posted by the weekend, and if not, hope you have a wonderful end of October, so that way November is just a happy greeting. And bye for now. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.